Hi everyone, I'm Emma, and you're on the Stories by Emma channel. Let's dive into some amazing stories. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. The ties that bind. Rebecca's heart pounded as she opened the old wooden box her mother had left behind. She had just returned from the funeral, an event filled with unanswered questions. Inside the box, she found a faded photograph of a man she didn't recognize and a small brass key. The mystery weighed heavily on her shoulders, sparking a journey she had never anticipated. The photograph led Rebecca to an address in the heart of New York City, far from her quiet suburban life. She approached a quaint cafe, its name matching a place mentioned in the margins of her mother's journals. Inside, the aroma of freshly ground coffee and the hum of conversation gave the place an oddly familiar feel, as if she had been there before. The cafe's owner, an elderly woman named Margaret, seemed to recognize Rebecca instantly. Margaret reached out with a trembling hand, saying, "Your mother spoke of you often." She handed Rebecca an envelope labeled, "For Rebecca's eyes only." Curiosity ablaze, Rebecca took a seat at the back, unfolding the letter with cautious excitement. In the letter, her mother revealed a secret life she had never shared, one filled with unexpected connections and hidden sacrifices. She explained that the man in the photograph had been a dear friend, someone pivotal during her youth. Rebecca felt a strange mix of pride and sorrow, realizing there was a side of her mother she had never truly known. The brass key led her to a nearby storage unit, tucked away in a quiet part of the city. Heart pounding, she unlocked the unit and stepped inside. Among dusty boxes and old furniture, she found an album filled with photos of her mother's life before Rebecca was born. As she flipped through the pages, she felt closer to her mother than ever, each picture revealing more of her journey. As she delved deeper, Rebecca discovered letters exchanged between her mother and the man in the photograph, detailing dreams, struggles, and plans they had once shared. Through these letters, she pieced together a love story that had been set aside as life took them in different directions. She was struck by the depth of their bond, a connection that endured despite distance and time. Rebecca realized her mother had left clues throughout her childhood home, hidden messages she had been too young to understand. She returned home, uncovering memories in a new light. Her mother's favorite books held hidden notes, and her most cherished music echoed sentiments of a life filled with both joy and longing. Her journey eventually led her to the man from the photograph, now a retired professor living in a nearby town. Rebecca introduced herself, unsure of what to expect. He welcomed her warmly, sharing stories about her mother's resilience and kindness. Through his words, Rebecca saw her mother in a new way, as a woman whose strength had shaped her own path. Rebecca spent the next few days with the professor, learning about the dreams her mother once held and the sacrifices she had made for her family. In those conversations, Rebecca found a deeper understanding of herself and of the legacy her mother had unknowingly passed down. Each shared story became a bridge between the past and the future. She returned home with a heart full of gratitude, feeling as if she had been given a precious gift. Rebecca organized the photos, letters, and mementos, honoring the life her mother had lived. She felt closer to her mother than ever, finding strength in knowing that her mother's dreams and values had shaped the woman she had become. Rebecca's discoveries didn't end there. She realized there were still unanswered questions in her mother's letters. One letter mentioned a hidden place, or spot, where her mother and her friend would meet to escape the world. Determined, Rebecca set out to find this place, feeling drawn by a need to complete the story. After days of searching, she stumbled upon a secluded bench in Central Park, a spot rarely touched by tourists. There, she found an inscription delicately carved on the backrest, with the initials of her mother and the man she had once loved. The sight brought tears to Rebecca's eyes, and she felt an overwhelming connection to the mother she thought she knew. On her last visit to the professor, he handed her a small pendant, a token her mother had left for her. Inside the pendant was a tiny folded note, "For my daughter, may you always find love and adventure in life." Rebecca's heart swelled with emotion as she realized the journey had given her a new understanding of love, sacrifice, and family. Rebecca decided to honor her mother's memory by documenting her journey, writing down the untold story that connected generations. She published her findings as a memoir, sharing her mother's hidden life and the powerful lessons it held. Readers from all walks of life found themselves captivated by the story, feeling the echoes of love and loss in their own lives. Standing in front of her mother's favorite view of the city, Rebecca felt at peace. The skyline shimmered as the sun began to set, casting a golden glow that felt like a quiet blessing. She whispered a thank you to the mother she now knew so well, feeling their bond stronger than ever. With a full heart, Rebecca walked away, ready to embrace her own future.